Awesome. Okay, so good morning, everybody. All right, see if you can sit comfortably, find your posture, find your shape today. Cross-legged, if you like. Um, Maybe you can even prop a little higher. Some people prop actually on there. You can put a blanket on there, and you can just kind of sit on there, and that will really lift your whole torso a little bit higher. So and your knees go lower. So this is fine. This is great. Actually feels really good. So you can just take a moment, shoulders to the back. And just find where your hands are going to be, to the knees, down the legs, to the thighs, or maybe up, maybe down. Maybe you can even do a little cosmic mudra. Just take a moment. So we close your eyes. I just suggest you close your eyes really to the world, to the noise, to the doing, and come into the being. So it's a beautiful sensation of stopping everything to come to this hopefully comfortable place. So find that you're even on your sit bones and then you feel the part that touch the ground or the mat and then lift from there. So feel that grounding sensation and then maybe a sensation of energy growing up from your tailbone to the neck, to the head, and up to the heaven. So feel that growing, uplifting energy going up, and then relax your body in a way that feels a little engaged, a little uplifted, but still comfortable enough to be in a place you could stay a little bit longer. So you're not wondering and say how long I'm going to stay here and what am I doing, but you really just find a comfortable place to just notice your pace and your breath. And that's all we're going to do. Just relax your face, your jaw, your throat. See how you were just doing one thing at a time, which is a perfect moment to set your breath, set your intentions, come to the room, come to your space, come to the present moment. Whatever happened is done. Whatever is going to happen later, it's not here. What is here is you and your breath and this moment here. Make it count and make it really bring you into a special connection with body, breath, and mind. Bring your hands to prayer. You can open your eyes or keep your eyes gently closed. Bring your hands to prayer and take a breath in and a breath out. Feel the hands against each other. And then open the hands just a tiny bit out, almost like feel the air in your fingers. And then draw the energy from your fingers to your heart. Just nice and gently. A little higher now, so maybe to the third eye. Press the hands into each other. Open a little higher, maybe even a little wider. Feel the energy through your fingertips. Exhale, close. Feel the hands touching, meeting, a little higher. And then same thing, open, maybe wide like cactus, maybe even wider, and feel the energy through your fingertips. And together. And the hands lower to the heart. And then one more time, just a little faster. Hands again to the center, open, and draw in to the third eye or to the forehead, and open, and draw that energy to the intuition or the Ajna chakra, a little higher, maybe a little more high, whatever feels good. Open up to the world and bring that intention, bring that universe to your hands, and draw your hands to the center. And then across the chest, imagine that you're doing a little safety check. Just cross your arms across your ribs and feel that sensation of safety. Feel the breath in your hands. Draw through the ribs, hug yourself, hug your ribs, and go a little side to side, or maybe even a little tiny circle. And then whichever hand, maybe the one on top that feels like it's on top, maybe the one that is under, you're going to just open up and open to the side and feel the ribs and the breath with the hand on the ribs. And then the other hand, just draw it out, maybe gaze to it, maybe wiggle. You cannot see it, but I'm wiggling my fingers, bring it a little to the arm, to the front of your ear, and then back up and open. Keep your hands on your ribs and open. And then bring the hand behind, across, and then do the other side. So it's a nice, easy way to kind of start bringing the breath to your body, the connection. Draw the hand to the ribs, keep it there, breathe that hand and open it. Maybe gaze towards it, maybe open and wiggle the fingers, maybe get a little sensation of side bending, maybe lift the arm towards the front. Maybe you can bend it, maybe you can straighten it, feel a little bit of engagement, getting a little more uncomfortable. Bring it back, stretch a little more, and then cross again. Maybe rub your ribs up and down. And then from here, see if you can just lower your hands towards your thighs or maybe towards your knees and round. All right, and then lift your arms just overhead and a little bit like a circle and back to meeting the hands at the prayer. From here, just a gentle, more familiar twist. So one hand, maybe right hand to the knee and the other hand behind you. And instead of bringing the hand to the floor, see if you can sneak it. If you're okay to sneak it kind of behind your low back. And once you have it kind of behind your low back, see if you can feel your head turning towards the shoulder you're twisting against. So your shoulder once goes back and once goes forward. Go to the forward one and breathe there. And then come back to center, head to center, arms to center. Huge breath comes in. And then twist to the other side. So start with a more familiar twist with the hand behind and the opposite hand to the knee. Get that nice tall spine. Take a breath or just feel that you're settling and you're feeling a little bit of twisting. And then this hand is going to just lift enough to maybe slide it behind. So maybe really use it to really draw your spine a little taller. And then your head was turning back. Just turn it forward, and then lower your chin or just turn towards the front shoulder. So feel the shoulders and the body and the navel twisting back, and then your head and your neck twisting to the front. So really powerful, like a coiling rotation. Please return gently, right? Allow your head to center. Bring your hands back to center. Allow one more time to your hands to draw up. All right. And then with your hands just on your knees, just take some tiny circles. So it could be just a little halfway, like a little rainbow, or maybe go all the way. So this is a move that we do sometimes. Whoever does Kundalini, this is like a little Kundalini, and they say that they wake up the energy of the Sushumna, the whole spine, and then go the other way. Just tiny little movements or big movements. You can include the head, or you can just keep it a tiny little movement as if you're lifting your ribs away from your pelvis. So tiny or big, and just move the energy around your body, moving and bringing breath to other crevices and nooks and spaces. Very good. And then from here, just take a final breath in and exhale and draw your hands to the center. We're going to come to the knees and do a little bit different flow, including like a floating child's pose, going a little forward to a modified back bend or like a up dog with your knees down, and then back to floating child's and up. So I'll show you and do the best you can. If you cannot do the transition, just stay in a way like maybe a floating child's pose and just do it slowly and just see if you can uh, enjoy, right? Enjoy. You can also put on the knees, you know, if your knees are hard, you can just put the blanket on the knees. So the first one is like a child's pose that is not quite reaching back. So you can just kind of feel that you're reaching back to the heels. All right, and then walk your hands a little bit more to the front, and you're going to bring your hips towards the ground, and you're going to sit back into that floating or like hovering child's pose, and then come on up on the knees, on the shins, bring your arms up, and bring your hands to prayer. Okay, so slowly, maybe find the floor with your hands, and then sit back a little bit. Okay, this is a lot of work. So this is one more work here. Walk your hands forward, 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 a lot forward. So you can do like a very big child's pose or not child's pose, but like a tabletop, and then come back and then press back, walk your hands back, come onto the high kneeling, and then arms reach up and draw the hands to heart. It really, really warms you up, and then we'll take a child's pose. So let's do more, two more like that. So sit a little bit towards the heels, doesn't have to touch. Walk your hands forward, come up to this long tabletop, hips sink. Okay, you can stay here. You don't have to drop down like I did before. You can just stay here. If you want to, of course, you can go, but then it's more effort to come out. Walk your hands back, back, back. Come onto the knees. You can tuck your toes if you want. Arms go up, inhaling. Hands to prayer. Sit back to the heels. Walk your hands to the top of your mat. Walk your hips or send your hips a little forward. And then breathe here. This is a long, long torso. Walk your hands back on the knees, on the shins. Inhale. Very good. Up. Hands to prayer. Okay, and then last one. So sit back, send the hips back to the feet. All right, walk your hands, come on up a little bit. Walk your hands to the front, sink your hips. Walk back the hands onto the kneeling, arms out and up. Draw your hands to the center. This time, stay to a comfortable child's pose. So comfortable. That means you can put blocks behind here to the heels and the buttocks. You can just stay high. You can open your knees a little wider. You can bring your arms like a little pillow. You can put a block under your forehead. So many ways to just settle, come to a breath, and come to a moment where you feel that you are, again, recovering a nice, easy inhale and exhale, and feel that you're really relaxing your belly here. Relax your low back, relax your shoulders, and especially the breath, let it come in and out at ease. So that was a little, bringing a little bit of everything, a little child's pose, a little tabletop, and a little slowly like a mini back bend. All right, so let's come in a more familiar kind of tabletop. Hands nice and spread and wide. Knees, check them there under your hips so they're not together, they're not too wide. Very good. And so we're doing a little more familiar cats and cows, okay? You can do a little something different if you want by bringing your fingertips to the edges and do a little cat-cow here. If that feels too um, difficult or you don't like it, just come back, okay? So that was just trying something new. You can do that also with the fingertips towards each other and the wrist outside and figure that if that feels good. So a little changing things, maybe adding a little more juice, more spice, working little attention to how it feels in your body. And then maybe walk the fingertips so they feel that they're pointing to your knees. Maybe do a little cat cow. This one is really more challenging for sure. And then bring your fingertips back to more familiar and do one more cats and cows. Nice and slow, nice and gentle. And then rest again. So send the hips back and maybe just let your hands kind of go to your feet or out. Maybe you can just even bring them out and have the palms kind of facing up. So just kind of wiggle, relax your wrist and your fingertips. Come back again, very gentle to these all fours. Okay, so you're gonna just reach one leg behind, stretch the leg strongly, tuck your toes and bring it and stretch it. You can go a little forward and back, rock on it. All right, and then maybe bring the foot out like a little kickstand out to the side. So from the back to the side, and do the same thing, a little back and forth, right? And then the same thing, one more thing here, bring it back behind you, bring it across and maybe take a little peek and then tuck your toes and then go back and forth. So crossing, 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 and then bring it back behind you, lift it, breathe it, and then hug it in just one time, hug it in, knee to chin, and stretch it back, lift a little higher, lift it a little higher, feel your arms, feel the leg lifting, bend it, and then bring it back in. And then we're gonna just take a little moment. So widen, sit back. I know it's a lot of wrist pressure. Have your hands face up, wiggle them, or you can just do the arms out like a T, wiggle them, or to the feet and wiggle, 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 relax, make fist and open. Awesome. All right, so let's do that little flow, that little dance with your legs again. And if the arms are heavy or the hands feel your need to take off pressure, do the blocks under your palms. Have them the palm right at the edge of the block. Okay, so left leg stretches back and then rock a little bit. Have your toes tucked under, rock back and forth. Feel the back of your thigh. All right, and then this same leg, just kick it out to the same side. So left leg out. You can put the foot flat and you can go a little back and forth, tiny forward and back. My foot is more or less aligned with the knee. And then slowly come to center, bring your hands down and then across behind and across to the other side. Maybe tuck your toes and maybe rock a little back, in and out, forward and back. And then walk your foot back. So it's back into the mat, lift it up enough to really use your arms and use your core. Take a moment to hug or bend the knee, hug the knee, bring it to your nose or to your chin. And then this last one, lift it up, maybe point your toes and lift it a little higher. Bend it, bring it in, and bring it down. Just one more little thing before we come out of this. So you're gonna just kind of bring your knees together and you're gonna kind of pivot the feet together behind. Doesn't matter which side. So the side you went to the right, let's say you went to the right, and then walk your both hands to the right. Big, big, wonderful side stretch on the knees. And then bring your hands back in and bring your feet right behind and do the same thing. The toes kind of swivel behind outside the mat maybe. And maybe walk the hands just a tiny bit out to the same towards the feet and just take a little peek there. Walk your hands back in, walk your feet back. All right. And last little child's pose. Just take a little long break. And then we're going to come onto the floor. Just come onto the belly, but just take another moment here, waving a little bit side to side, rocking your tiles. Maybe that feels good in your nervous system. Go side to side. Let go of any tension that I caused or you caused. Trying to keep up. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with the cues and you're not seeing the person. So just relax, let it go. And we're going to come on to our Sphinx. So walk yourself in any way that you can. Walk your knees back or slide like a little snake on the floor. I'm going to just change the mat because I feel like I'm purple and the mat is purple and you can't really see anything. And I have, it's going to be better. Too much purple and purple. I should have worn maybe some yellow. Okay, good. All right, so come onto the belly and have your legs a little wider and have your hands like a little pillow and rest your forehead. Okay, so press your pubic bone, relax your face on your hands, relax your jaw and breathe here. So you're gonna come up a little bit on the arms and just lift one leg, just one. Bring it in to the glutes, bring it out. That's all, okay? And then do the other leg, just bend it and straighten it, bend and straighten. Just kind of warming up, very good. And then from here with the legs just flat, the toes flat, or maybe tucked, doesn't matter. You're gonna just kind of go one to like a sphinx, actually go on your elbows and then turn like a little side sphinx. And then walk to the normal sphinx to the center. And then just walk your elbows, or you can even go lower on that arm and then walk to the side like a little side stretch with your we're now prone, like on the belly, and then come back to center and make sure you're at the center. Wiggle the hips a little bit, lift your both legs, swing side to side. Come onto the arms again, rest your forehead. And you can lift your head off the hands or keep it low as you just really lift both legs just a tiny bit. So that's more work, more engagement. Press your pubic bone and keep your head low, or maybe arms helping you to support how much you lift your legs and your low back. And then lower, relax everything. Lift your shins, lift your feet, swing side to side. All right, and then just come back to more a normal sphinx pose. And then slowly, maybe just a little mini cobra. So that would be our last back bend. Mini cobra means your hands are more under your shoulders, your feet can stay wide, and just go a little bit higher. Feel your low back, strengthen it, and then lower. Just bring your hands again in front and just relax. Swing a little side to side. So this rocking, this swinging, this is a kind of inviting your relaxed part of your nervous system, resting and digesting, parasympathetic, just rocking. It is a nice, very soothing psychologically and mentally to just kind of rock like you rock a baby. Very soothing for the mind and for the body. So we're gonna come up through all fours. All right. So if you have the chair, you can use the chair to come up, or you can use your block to come up. So you can step 1 foot forward. You can bring your hand on the hand. You can step first foot forward, and then just kind of either hand to the chair, hand to the floor, and hand to the block. So just wherever from here, stepping forward, comfortably, feet a little wider, just kind of hang. It's important that we hang a little bit upside down just for a couple of breaths. And again, if this is too much, that's why the chair is just kind of great to just even bring your elbows on the chair, bend your legs. This is very fine. You can stay here, let the head hang, and let the head really, really be heavy, bending and straightening, and slowly, slowly using your blocks, using your chair, just unwind, unwind, and unfurl. All right, so we're gonna come up to our standing. So just before we do anything, let's just repeat that little beautiful introduction to the breath we did seated. All right, so just hands at the heart and breathe, and hands at the center. A little higher and open and close, and just over the head. So now you're standing, so involve your whole leg and feet and open. Draw that energy through your fingertips, hands together at the top, and draw your hands in. So just go a little bit bending the legs, right? Just a tiny bit chair, and then open. And then hands together, and then up. And then same thing, we're just hanging a little low, hands a little higher, and open and close. And then come on up and draw your hands in. Okay, and the last one, we're really working and warming up a little lower, a little higher, open, and together. And bring your hands in and come on up to standing. Awesome. Okay, so just a little bit of chair, and just one of the hands goes back and in. All right, so just a little low, not too much. You don't have to be here, but just engage your legs and then swing back and center, right? And then one more, out, center, and back. Beautiful, and center. And then hands at the heart and straighten the legs. Beautiful. All right, keep the hands on the waist just for a moment. Bend your legs, a little bit of balance here. So you're gonna just put the weight on one leg and maybe cross, like we did the crossing on the hands and knees, just cross behind. So cross a little behind, right? And then maybe bring your arms overhead or up. Very nice. Bring your hands together and carefully step together. All right, and then shift your weight, step behind, with your toes tucked under. All right, and you can stay here. This is more when you lift your arms, right? This is more, this is less, this is more. And if you bend, you add more. So do your options are there. Hands together and step the feet together carefully. All right, and then just shake it out. So let's do a little bit towards the chair. And if you don't have a chair, you can do it on the ground. So I'll show you on the ground. If you don't have a chair, we're gonna do the cats and cows, the rounding on the spine that we did before. So this one here, cats and cows, but we're doing it on the seat. Okay, so round and lift your tail. So you have really more control here and you don't have such pressure on the wrist. So rounding here and lift your tailbone up. Beautiful. Okay, so look a little bit here before you do this one. We're gonna kind of do like a little rolling, like a wheel. And then as you come back, you're gonna kind of lift your toes. So you're gonna bend your elbows. You're gonna try to bring your nose. So you're gonna have to measure how far your legs are. You're gonna bend your legs a lot. You're gonna draw, imagine you have a marble and you're gonna come up and you're gonna go lean your toes and then bring your heels down and draw that marble and lift. All right, I forgot to lift my toes. So you draw up, lift your heels, and then bring your heels down and draw and lift. Okay, and just one more. So it's a little different from the cats and cows. And then come on up, just relax, let it go. We're just gonna do the opposite. So rounding here, lift your heels, and then bring down, sit down, and then lift up, round your spine, go up on your tippy toes, go forward, bend your arms and sit. Lift up, just one more, rounding like a wheel, scoop your belly, forward knee, nose down, and draw up. Awesome. Okay, that's it's a workout on the chair. So okay, so we're gonna go now towards more like a more familiar. All right, so you can have your hands on the seat. You can have, if it's too far, always block so you bring the chair even a little higher. And then just, you can have your hands outside the edges. You can have your hands right under your shoulders. And then you're gonna just lift one leg up. So when you lift that leg up, so much easier than when we're doing it on the floor. You're gonna try to bring the other arm to the chair, forward, or maybe even out to the side. Or maybe you can even bring the salutes, the fingertips to the head and just lift a little higher, little higher, little higher. Hand down carefully and step the feet. Okay, bend your legs and safely come on up. All right, shake it a little bit. And then bend your legs, tip over, and find the other side. So lift your other leg up. So we're staying with the hips closed. We're gonna go into the Ardha Chandrasana or the half moon in a minute. So just feel how your hips are even. Imagine that back leg really straight, pushing on a wall. And if you want, you can use the other arm forward. You can hold it on the top of your chair if you have that. If it's too high, then you just hang it. You can also bring the arm out to the side. So it looks like, you know, like out to the side, leg is back, or salute. And then bring carefully the hand down, step the foot in, bend, and come on up to standing. And shake it out. All right, so now this is the part that I love. You're gonna try to do the Ardha Chandrasana. So this is called the half moon. The half moon is this one. Sometimes you use a block and you open and you lift, but it works wonderful with the chair, okay? It's really accessible, it's safer. You can also use the block on top, okay? So start with the hands, bend your legs, see how much your feet are far away or close enough. You can bring your hands more to the center. You're gonna put one of the hands more to the center, okay? And then you're gonna lift the leg up and maybe start bringing the hand on the hip. You open and stack your hips and then lift your other arm up. So that's your half moon. You can also bring a block. So you're stepping a little bit higher and you lift your hip and you stack your shoulders and you flex the top foot and you open your gaze up. Beautiful, awesome. So it's very doable on the chair. Slowly lower, foot down, hand down, bend and tip over, and then come on up and rounding up to standing. You did it. All right, so take a moment here, breathe in, and I'm just gonna shift so I can do the other leg. And then we'll do something really cool for balancing, hopefully with the block, okay? So bending off, find your footing so you can really feel. Start with bent legs, hand on the chair, lift your leg and then open it. So open the leg a little bit. So you can also kind of step back a little bit and start lifting up. The leg doesn't have to be, you know, perfect, but just try to see how you are using your hand and opening your heart forward, open your belly forward, and your foot is straight and you're on one leg, and this is your half moon. Beautiful. Careful. Awesome. You don't have to gaze up, you can gaze down. Slowly bend the leg, bring the hand, feet bend close to the chair, and slowly come on up and take a breath. All right, so you're gonna go use the chair for me. And you're gonna put a block and you're gonna step on it. Okay, so hold on to the chair, step on the block. If you don't have a block, put a big book, but use the chair for support. You're gonna come up on the block and you're gonna swing the foot forward and back. Okay, awesome, very good. And then step down, tap, and then lift up. So lower your hip and then lift it up. So hike it up just a couple times. Swing a little forward and back. And see if you can lift it up, hug it in a little bit. Very good. Swing it a little bit forward and back without swinging your body, just your leg. Tap down and then bend your standing leg and then get off the foot, get off the block. And you tell me if that leg doesn't feel so much better. Walk around. It feels like it's longer. It feels like a more release in your hips. And then you're going to just switch sides. Step on the block carefully. You have that chair. Step it on. Swing it forward and back. I think I didn't switch my leg. Just make sure, like me, don't, you know. So feel this is already like, if you don't want to swing, just feel, you know, what takes to be on one foot. And you can always tap down, tap your toes for a little support. You can even tap and bend, and then come on up and feel that. And then maybe hold on to the chair and do a little swinging forward and out. Okay, so try a little bit of everything. Maybe tapping, maybe lifting the hip a little higher. All right, and maybe tapping, feel that length, the whole, lower torso. Maybe swing a little forward more and then lift it up. It feels good. All right, and then slowly bending the standing leg and step your feet down. Awesome. And just shake it out a little bit. All right, and the last little piece on the chair and we'll go on the mat. So the last little piece is because it really works great to do a pyramid here. Okay, so again, measure your feet so you're not too close and you're not too far to bend, and find your hands on the seat. And then you're gonna just kind of put one foot behind. So step one foot behind and then square your hips. That's all you're doing. So you're squaring your hips. You're really trying to push both legs together. And then from here, you can come on the elbows, and that's your pyramid. Okay. You can even really swing your hips side to side. Try to square your hips. Maybe you can even bring your head a little closer to the chair or to a block. But if you stay here, this is a great stretch for the front hamstring. And try to really feel both feet pressing and lowering a little bit your head. If you're too far, you can stay here and feel the same thing. Okay, bend both legs, right? And you can just switch it or step back here to your dog on the chair. So it's really great opportunity to do a dog, or you can step forward, right? And then just switch it. Okay, so once you have the footing, my footing is like maybe a foot behind. Okay, and you can stay high. You can stay on blocks high. Square your hips. So send the left foot, the left hip back, maybe folding, maybe elbows, maybe even the head, maybe bending the front leg and straightening. Draw your hips back and forth. Maybe you try it's too much and you go back. Just feel how it feels so, so good on this chair. So this is Pushbottanasana, the pyramid pose. Really awesome stretch. Sometimes difficult to do standing. Again, from here, you can stay on your arms or you can stay on your hands. You can step back for your dog with the arms on the chair. You can go up on the hands and with long arms, step back for your dog. If you want to do a dog, also here, and you can bring your elbows on the chair. You can even slide if you have space behind your chair. I know you don't, but some of you, you can just keep your elbows. You can stay high. You can widen your feet and just really stretch your arms, your calves, and your inner thighs, and walk the edges of your feet, really working. Wonderful way to do the down dog and the wide dog and these stretches on the chair. So you can walk your hands so they're supporting you, wicker your feet a little closer, bend your legs and come on up to standing. Thank you for doing that with me, because I think sometimes the chair is not only for chair yoga, because it's more like a senior thing, but this is really difficult to do. If you notice that you can do that Ardha Chandrasana is not easy to do. I have never done it because I feel it's really hard, but it's doable with the help of the chair. So let's go on the floor, put everything away. And actually, if you want, to go on the floor with the chair, it's great. So you can And you can do it, keep it for later, and we'll do the Shavasana with the legs on the chair. All right, keep it close. Just to come out, just bring your knee down, other knee down. Just keep it close, right? And then we're gonna go on the mat. All right, I'll try and stay with you and see, maybe we can talk about this later. All right, so make sure you have space and you have a blanket behind your head if you want. And then just kind of find a little bit of that tucking and untucking with your spine, like flatten your back and lift your tailbone a couple times. It's kind of doing a little kind of cat and cow on your back. Please relax your face and try to not look at the camera. Try to stay forward. Try to just close your eyes and really feel your low back. So when your back becomes almost flat to the ground, press your feet, hands close to your heels, and lift for your bridge. So it's a pretty bridge, not too much, but pretty good. And then lower, set your hips down, engage your core, lift your knees, hug your knees, and nose to the knees. Lower your head, lower your feet. Little cat-cow, and then flat. Press your feet, keep your head down, keep your shoulders down, lift for bridge, hands really on the ground, reaching for your feet. Gently lower. Find your spine, your hips, lower down. Hug your belly, lift your feet, lift your knees, hug them in, lift your shoulders and your nose to the knees. Lower everything down, feet on the ground, and bridge pose. Lower gently. All right, and this time, hug your belly, lift your knees, stay with your head down, stay with your shoulders down, and just lift your legs up vertical. All right, and then separate them just a tiny bit, flex your toes. Feel here how you are on your low back. You can open your arms like a T. You can open your arms out. You can open your arms like cactus. You can just be here. Wonderful opportunity to just give yourself a little break for your legs and your calves and your feet. All right, bend your knees. Try to find the footing, both feet. All right, and then just hug your both knees to your chest. Maybe just knees together and just go a little side to side, create a little circle. Again, the rocking, right? The rocking motion, the meditative, the side to side, very soothing, conducive to relaxation, inviting the nervous system that is calming and releasing tension, side to side, or just simply rolling to both sides with the knees wide. Also, you can do these knees a little wider, just really almost like massaging your low back and rocking and meditating. Rocking, you maybe do one knee in, one knee out, like you're pedaling your feet like a bicycle, mini bicycle. Awesome. All right, so bring your feet down for a moment. And we're gonna do a little bit more work. Okay, and this is my last little push, and then I'll just cool down with the feet on the bottom of your seat, or you can do your regular shavasana. But you're gonna try to bring your feet a little closer together. You're gonna lift your hips for bridge. You can keep your hands reaching your heels. You're gonna just lift one knee up, Maybe make a little bicycle with the standing leg, just one or two, and then lift it up, and then rebend it, set it down, and then last piece lower, 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 lift for bridge. So it's the last push here. Keep your foot almost to the middle as you lift the other one, bring it in, extend it, little bicycle. So it can be a big bicycle reaching forward, tapping, or it can be a little tiny bicycle, extending it, lifting it up, and then foot down and then lower. That's it. That was the last little effort. Hug your knees in, rock side to side. All right, foot down. The knee is going to open. Figure 4 on the ground, supine pigeon. Again, the rocking motion is optional. The lifting the foot and rocking is optional. All right, you can stay here and just really press the legs, pressing out, pushing in, using your own body. Side to side. If you lifted your foot off the ground, reground the foot, set it down and see if you can bring this foot, the one on the top, slowly, slowly, slowly to find the floor. If the floor is far, you bring the floor to your foot. So you step your foot in or step it on a block. All right. And then this other arm, you can grab your foot, maybe, or some part of the leg, and the other arm just opens up, open up, out. Again, it's too much. You can just stay in this option. Or if you want more, set the foot on the floor, maybe bring it to the knee, press it forward, and bring your arm overhead. So many options here. You can keep it very more, less, more, reach more, or, add the juice, the spice that you want, and breathe. Looks great. All right, let's undo it in pieces. So your arm that is back away from the legs, bring it back to your body. And then use your core, use your arms to come to center, walk the foot to center, step your foot in, lift your both legs, rock a little kind of reset here with your little rocking, feet down, cross the other foot. All right. Check with your shoulders, check with your hips, check with the setting, make sure you're starting this other side not twisted, that you're organized in your mat. Rock a little bit, lift your foot and rock if you want, stay on the floor and rock if you want. I'm just going to show you from this side. I'm just going to send the foot to the ground, to step on the ground, maybe with a block. Okay, this could be great. Maybe the arm opens, maybe the arm reaches a little higher. Maybe you do nothing and bring it close to your body. I mean, the other hand can come onto the top of your knee and then maybe encourage it to stand a little higher or vertical. You can also keep closer to your foot that is crossing over. And like that. Or with the hand like that, or just be here with the block under, or maybe just even stay on this great, super amazing hip stretch. Right, let's come out of there slowly. So if the arm is high, slowly bring it back. Use your core, set your feet back on the mat. And then feet on the ground, arms can be open. This, it's a little windshield wiper kind of fun. with your knees and your hips open. Open your toes, open the bottom of your feet. Maybe turning your head away, maybe keeping the head to center. So find something that feels soothing. Again, rocking, right? Rocking and soothing and meditative movements. Um, Very nice and slowly. All right. So if you want, you give yourself your last hug with your knees to your chest. Maybe lift your nose to the knees, squeeze like a tight little ball, and then you roll down. And then what I was saying is if your chair is not too high, you can put a blanket. If this is too rough edges, you can put a little blanket on the edges and kind of go under and just kind of foot one foot up and then the other, and you can sneak your feet under if there's a hole. If not, just keep your legs there and slowly come on down. You can also put another like a block, and this feels also kind of fun to do like a cascading, and you get a little inversion in your shavasana. You don't have to do any of these. You can just do it more familiar. You can do Supta Barakonasana. So many options. You can do the blocks. You can do the more fun open legs, open arms, and do a super wonderful, complete finish Shavasana, which is your version. Wonderful. So when you find that place where you're going to definitely like and be comfortable, this is where you're going to stay. And just take a moment and try to really find a comfortable place for your head. And your cues here are really find your breath. So finding a nice, easy breath in, closing the eyes, hopefully softening the eyes, and just letting the breath come in and breathing out. And take a little check on yourself as if you're like scanning with a little camera to see where your feet are, where your hips are, your shoulders, maybe your hands, maybe your head. See what parts are touching, see what parts are supported, see what parts are not, and see how you can just kind of feel a little bit of releasing and dropping, and sensing the body is comfortable enough to even stay and stay and stay. Feel that you can really let your imagination go. You can just also start inviting little scenery, little pictures in your mind to bring in. You can visualize the wave of your breath, like the wave of the ocean, and maybe the sounds of the ocean, coming to the shore and then waving out and in. That sound, that movement, very soothing. You can visualize that wave on the sand and the wave of the ocean. If you don't like that, if you're more like a mountain person, you can visualize maybe the clouds in the sky just kind of moving out. Maybe you can see the trees, the breeze in the trees, maybe waving through the leaves. So you can use your mind to travel and to bring peaceful memories, somewhere you've been, somewhere you want to be, somewhere in your fantasy, in your world that you create, a beautiful place that is calming, that you can come to anytime, that is calming your mind and your nervous system, and really brings you awareness um, to how powerful the mind is. So your body is like a stone, is very still. You can still wonder, you can find another scenery, another visualization, and or just let your mind go where it is, that it needs to go. You can follow a little bit of your thoughts. You can um, let it go. I'm going to stay just quiet for a minute, just 1 minute quiet, and I'll draw you back. As you are going to be coming back by bringing your awareness, your consciousness, your mind to the present moment. If you really are connected to a way that you want to stay and rest more, please listen to yourself and stay. If you would like to come out, just then listen to my cues and just gently start bringing more breath, more energy, slowly in through your nose. And maybe you can imagine that you release any other tension out when you exhale out. You can do this a couple more times, breathing in and exhaling out your mouth. And start waking up gently your bodies, your fingers, your head. Bring your legs together. If you were on the chair, just gently bring them out and give yourself a hug. Or if you were drawing back, just give yourself a hug and rock a little side to side. Eventually go again to the side. And very gently use your arms gently. And you come up again to our seated starting position. All right. And then just feel, right? If you want to go on the blanket, if you want to go on the block, if you want to stay cross-legged, if you want to do any position that feels good in your body, take a moment. And feeling that sensation of, the Sushumna, the spinal column, vertical, the teacup on the head. And we'll do maybe just a tiny little bit of the energy that we do sometimes. The Tai Chi sometimes goes together nicely with the yoga, as if you have a ball, right, of a circle of energy with the hands, and feel that energy right in front of your belly. And take a breath and you open and close. And just one more, just open and close. And then have your hands, one on the top, one on the bottom. And then switch them. Nice and elbows heavy, shoulders drop. You can do a little bit up and down with your breath. And shift. And then draw them open and close. And back to where they're facing each other. Feel that energy. Feel the fingers coming in and open. Feel the energy through your fingertips. Back towards each other. Feel maybe you can go a little bit more like a more swaying. Very good. And then just bring your hands to prayer and maybe bring them a little bit to your center. And then we bow our face or nose to our fingers. Just take a moment again to be in gratitude, in tune with your moment of whatever it is, thankfulness, kindness, saying thank you for the breath, for the body, for the many things that we are, and we don't give thanks enough for that. Thank you for coming in today for this practice and taking your time to practice through the screen from your Saturday morning. Hands to prayer to the third eye. And namaste. And thank you. So I'll just stop the recording for a moment in a minute.